Okay, guys, day 2 of the testimony of Thomas Cashman, accused killer of 9-year-old Olivia Pratt-Corbell, continues. This is part 2 of day 2, cross-examination. So, let's get straight into it. David McLaughlin, QC, begins cross-examination for the prosecution. When did you find out a little girl had been shot? I found out the day after. What time? I'm not sure. Try. I'm not sure. It was big news in Dovecot. I'm not sure. The day later. Morning, afternoon. It would have been in the morning. It happened on your patch, where you live, where you sell drugs. Where I sell drugs. Because you're a criminal. Because I'm a drug dealer. That is a criminal though, isn't it? Cashman says he would make thousands per week. Mr. McLaughlin says this would amount to hundreds of thousands per year. That's what I was making, yeah. I was selling cannabis on a high level. And you go to Runcorn for a holiday. Right, let me just stop here. Runcorn, I'm sure it's lovely, right? But it's not the place that somebody making hundreds of thousands of pounds, or indeed probably anybody, would choose to go for a holiday. It's just a town in the north of England, right? There's nothing special about Runcorn. Why would you go for a holiday? But anyway, it's my own flat. Was it a romantic getaway? No, it was just let's go to the flat and have a chill out. Mr. Wynne was he there as well? Not at that time. Mr. McLaughlin moves on to the witness who can't be named. In your words, you're getting stitched up. I'm getting stitched up for a murder of a child I didn't commit. Mr. McLaughlin asks why the witness wanted to stitch him up. Loads of reasons, not just one reason. Is it the case on the night you went somewhere to someone who you thought you could trust? If that was the case, the CCTV what covers her house. This is the proof what she's saying is a blatant lie. She's a total liar. The CCTV covers every angle of her house. They would have got caught on CCTV. Of all the CCTV yous have took, there's nobody going to her house because no one went to her house. I never went to her house. I would have been caught on CCTV. The prosecution's case is the suspects yous believe has garden hopped over. If that was the case, they'd be seen on the camera to the right and to the left. I'm not a magician. I can't disappear and go somewhere. No one has gone to her house. Check all the cameras. Yous haven't seen no one go to her house because she's a liar. Nobody has gone to her house. If you're saying somebody's garden hopped over here, which I definitely have not, it wasn't me. I can comment where I was at the time. I went to my mate's house. Cashman is asked if he cut his chest and bled onto a t-shirt. He says he may have had a little spot on his chest. The clothes I got off of her were 3 weeks prior, if not longer. I haven't cut my chest nowhere. It would have been a little spot on my chest. Nothing to do with jumping over gardens. I'd have a scar or a mark. They took pictures head to toe. You'll see yourself. No cuts, no marks, nothing. Mr. McLaughlin continues. Did you trust her? I was sleeping with her. It was just a bit of fun, which I shouldn't have been having. She was someone I was trying to distance myself from. I'd been having an affair behind my sister's back for too long. Head in your hands. I've done Joey. Does that sound familiar, Mr. Cashman? She says, I went round. I done Joey. In another interview, she says, I didn't hear Joey. I heard knee. On another occasion, she goes, I heard him say Joey knee. It's a lie. It's a blatant lie. The proof's there. She's trying to stitch you up. That's exactly what she's doing. Cashman is asked to tell the jury where he used to live. He responds, I lived in Runcorn. Before I lived in Runcorn, I lived in Liverpool city centre. I lived in Penshaw Close about 12 years ago. You've made a big play about cannabis, haven't you? I sell cannabis. Tell us who you buy cannabis from. I buy them from different people. Name them. I won't name my friends who I get my cannabis from. Who do you sell cannabis to? I sell them to people around my area, my friends I grew up with. There's 5 or 6, you said. I'm not telling you. Why not? Because then they'd go and get arrested. Tell us the names, Mr. Cashman. I'm not going to say who I supply my cannabis to. I wouldn't do that. You're on trial for murder. 12 people behind me. Tell us. Justice Yip interjects. He's answered that now, Mr. McLachlan. Mr. McLachlan asks, when did you decide to tell the truth? Cashman replies, I've always told the truth. In interviews, did you tell the truth? I gave a prepared statement. You were asked lots of questions. I was asked lots of questions. Mr. Cashman, what is your defence to this case? Meaning what? Mr. McLachlan says he's asking Cashman to clarify where he was at the time of the shooting. At my friend's house, Craig's. Do you know what the word alibi means? Whereabouts we was, basically. Did you tell the police where you were? No. Did they ask? I went no comment. I didn't tell the police nothing. You're being interviewed about a little kid being shot. Where were you? Help us out. I told the police it wasn't me who did it, and I have no problem with the people. I wanted to give a prepared statement so they just know it was not me. Are you trying to fit your case to the evidence that's been put before this court? What I'm saying is the whole truth. I understand you've got a job to do, Mr. McLachlan, and I accept that. I respect that. But the police have got it all wrong. It's not true. It's all wrong, every bit of it. They're just coincidences. Somebody who said they're going to ruin my life has gone to the police and said this. Mr. McLachlan asks, would you deal drugs from Grenadier Drive? Cashman replies, I would sometimes leave money in there. I would never take large amounts of cannabis there. It's my family home. He is asked about CCTV cameras being removed from his home. I removed the recorder from it because Nicky McHay's house got raided for drugs. They took all my money and drugs from there, and I got paranoid they might come to my house. I removed my recorder and my cameras. I didn't want to get caught for selling drugs. I sell drugs on a high level. Mr. McLachlan asks if he sold drugs from Grenadier Drive. Cashman replies, not from Grenadier Drive. I'm going back and forth. I'm just being a bit cautious. I found out Nicky's had been raided for drugs. It was my stash house. I got a bit paranoid and I removed my recorder from my house. It was me removing the CCTV. Yeah, I removed the CCTV. Mr. McLachlan continues. Is being a cannabis dealer at your level a tough business? Cashman responds, no, because it's everyone I know from my own area where I've grown up. It's a bit boring, to be honest. It's a tough place, Dovecote. Dovecote Heighton, yeah, it's just somewhere I grew up, so I'm used to being round there. Mr. McLachlan, does Kaylee Ann Sweeney know what you do for a living? I never tell her nothing about what I'm doing. She knows I was selling bits of weed at one stage. I tried to turn my life round by starting a car business. She was starting her own business. I'd keep her out of it. Did she see big stacks of cash? No, she'd see me paying the bills, maybe buying the kids' clothes. She wasn't aware at what level you were operating at? No. How long have you been doing it for? I've sold cannabis off and on since I was young. I only started properly when I moved back to Liverpool ways. About 2 years it's been. At first, starting off, I was getting it all going. I was getting my people who want a bit. From when I started to when I finished, it's going higher and higher. She'd no idea what you were up to. She would have had suspicions. She never asked me. I never told her. It wasn't just a summer job. in August 2022. I'd been selling cannabis for a while, yeah. Would you use people? In what way? Colin Cashman, your sister. Did you use her? I used her house. I didn't use Colin Cashman. She was with an ex-police officer. She's a bit strict because of the way she is with him. You still go around and sell gear from her house. She must have had suspicions. Kaylee's got suspicions. Colin's got suspicions. Colin might have known. She's not stupid. She knew what I was doing. Kevin Dunn, your brother, was he a drug dealer? No, he lived with his partner while my friends sold drugs from his house. Did you supply the friends? Yes, I did. Did he know? He's not stupid. He knew I was giving the lads drugs. He warned me not to do it. So if I did do it, he'd end up giving me a beating. He's my older brother. I did it behind his back because he was never home and my friends lived in his house. Craig Byrne, tell the jury what his nickname is. His name is Craig. Coyley, that's something someone else refers to him as. Nicky McHale, did you use him? I used his house. I supplied him with cannabis. He asked of Mr. McHale's whereabouts around 4 p.m. on August 22nd. Mr. McLaughlin reads from Cashman's defence statement, a document setting out the defence's response to the prosecution case, which is submitted ahead of criminal trials. The statement says Cashman took drugs to Mr. McHale. I never said in my defence statement I left them with Nicky McHale. I took them to Nicky McHale's. Have you ever been caught out there? By what? If I show you something on the screen now, he shows a selfie of Mr. McHale and a woman, probably in Alderley Edge. I did not speak to Nicky when I went round. I've got my own key for his house. I just let myself in. That's just a small mistake. Yes, it is. That's not a question of being caught out. Cashman says it was not. Mr. McLaughlin continues reading from the defence statement. He turns to a section concerning a drug debt to Russell. No need to mention 25 grand. Yeah. You're trying to fit your defence to the evidence we've put forward. No. You accept you're a drug dealer? Yeah, I do. Do drug dealers use things like this? Mr. McLaughlin holds up his mobile phone. Drug dealers do use things like this. Were you using a phone? I had an old iPhone that broke a couple of days beforehand. I've always sold cannabis to people I've been close to. I use my missus' phone to phone my friends. You're making 3 to 5 grand here. I would have gone and got a phone. Just at that time, I was using my missus's phone. It wasn't the case that not having a phone on purpose so no one could trace your movements. No, I never had a phone for a couple of days before the 22nd as well. The jury has shown Cashman's custody picture and a picture of his van, shown by CCTV still of him and Miss Sweeney in Runcorn on their chill break. Mr. McLaughlin asks, what tracksuit bottoms are those, Mr. Cashman? The Monterey tracksuit bottoms. He says he got them from JD or Foot Asylum. Where are they? I'm not sure. You've heard the evidence. Police have checked the addresses linked to you. Yous are suggesting that I'm the gunman, which I'm not. You're suggesting I done this shooting in these pants I'm seen 2 days later in. The witness is suggesting she got rid of those pants for me. I'm seen with them tracksuit bottoms on. If she's got rid of my tracksuit bottoms, why have I got them on 2 days later? Would I be wearing the same tracksuit bottoms 2 days later? Tell us where they are then. This is what I don't know. They're somewhere. I stay in Grenadier Drive. I stay in Runcorn. I stay in the flat on Baycliffe. Just before this, I went on a little canal boat with John. Them pants are somewhere. I haven't got rid of them. There's the proof here. I've got them on 2 days later. She's saying she got rid of them pants for me. 2 days later, here I am with the pants on. with my girlfriend going shopping. I did not do this. I hope yous all look at it and say, who's going to commit a serious offence and put them pants back on? It's untrue. I didn't do it, and my pants are somewhere. Cashman continues. Everybody wears them tracksuit bottoms and them trainers I wear. Who? Everybody in the whole of Liverpool. When something comes out, everybody goes mad about it. Everybody's wearing Monterey. It's just what happens over years and years. Who? Loads of people wear them tracksuit bottoms. They're common. It's like years ago when Lacoste came out. Burgos came out. Everybody went mad about Monterey. As the woman said, they're the best-selling pants. Yours have gone. Mine are somewhere. I don't know at the moment where they are. Cashman is asked about Joseph Nee. Mr. McLaughlin, is he a good mate of yours? He's a good mate. I've never had a problem with him. Are you always out together? No, I wouldn't say he's my best mate. We've had a drive around on the motorbike, talk about cars and bikes like I did the day before this happened. Joseph put it in his own statement saying that. I'm his mate. He said he's got no problem with me. Referring to Nee's mum's address, Mr. McLaughlin asks, can you get to Ancott Road by chance? It's Dovecot. It's on the back of Dovecot shops. Mr. McLaughlin, why he was knocking around in 5 or 6 vehicles rather than one vehicle. He suggests a little kid had been shot and you knew you had something to do with it. I had nothing whatsoever to do with it. Did you want to shoot Joseph Nee? Why would I want to shoot my friend? Could you tell the jury why I'd want to shoot my friend? He is asked if he had Joseph Nee's number in his phone. No, Joseph Nee's number was not in my phone. I've got loads of friends, but I don't have all their numbers in my phone. Mr. McLaughlin asks, did you see your mate Joey Nee's van on Finch Lane? Cashman responds, no, I didn't. I wasn't paying attention. It's just a van. CCTV shows Cashman arriving back at Mab Lane and then his van travelling down Finch Road. You're saying that's got a view, but it's just the main road. You weren't looking for Joseph Nee's van. No, I was just going to collect money with a friend. Is it your little mate? I call them my little mate because they're in their 20s, they're only young. I don't suppose you're willing to tell us his name? Cashman says no. He's then shown footage of Nee's van leaving the area. You had no idea. I didn't know. He is shown speaking to a man the jury had earlier been told is Ben Russell. Mr. McLaughlin asked Cashman to name him. No. Is it Ben Russell? Yous know who it is. That's who yous have got him down as, yeah. It is, isn't it? I'm not too sure. I can't remember. Who is Ben Russell in connection with? So the witness who can't be named. He's my mate. Cashman confirms this is Paul Russell's brother. Cashman says he was on Snowbury Road picking up some cannabis, yeah. Nothing else to do with the shooting? No, I was not. Cashman is shown the footage of him at the corner of Finch Lane and Berryford Road. Mr. McLaughlin, was the weather bad? Yeah, you can see off the CCTV. Did you need a mask on your face as well? I zipped my jacket all the way up and pulled the string so that the rain doesn't get onto the back of my neck, like any person would do. People walk around like that anywhere when it's raining. Some people wear neck warmers. Some people wear COVID face masks. You weren't trying to hide your face. No, it was raining. What did you have in your pockets? I had cannabis. Anything else? No, nothing whatsoever. Where are you looking? I'm looking right at my brother's. Your brother's there on the pavement. As soon as I seen him, I turned round immediately. Are you trying to fit your case to the evidence? I told you that before you'd ever served it. Mr. McLaughlin moves on to a journey in a van. You say I'm in this van, but I'm 98% sure I'm not. I walked back around Princess Drive. I'm not 100% sure, but when I looked at it, I thought, I'm not in that van. They've got it wrong here. Cashman agrees he's wearing Nike trainers, a Monterey tracksuit and a cap, walking back to his sister's address on the afternoon of August 22nd. Do you remember how long you stayed in your sister's for? On that day, my sister was upset. She'd been arguing with her boyfriend over me having people there. When I went in, my sister was a bit upset. I'm not sure how long, but I said I'd stop having people round. She was getting a hard time off her boyfriend and she told me to pack it in. Cashman says he then went to his brother's house. He says he was unable to tell his friends about the cannabis he'd been hoping to bring around, as his brother was also there. I had a spliff and a catch-up. I went in there, I had a general conversation with them. I left my brother's house then. The lads were waiting for something to arrive. When I went round, they were all in the living room. My brother was in the living room. I just built myself a spliff and had a chat with them and got off. Cashman is asked why his van is seen on Kingsheath Avenue. I don't know exactly whereabouts I was going on here. I might have went to my mates on Fincham or Finch Lane. You're going directly past Timmy Naylor's house. It's the main road, it's Finch Lane. It's just the route I take every day. You're not checking for Joey Nee? I'm not checking for Joey Nee whatsoever, no. Mr. McLaughlin asks about his route. I could have went down Princess Drive. I don't know why, I can't remember. I can't remember what I was doing that day. If I was to ask you what you were doing on August 22nd, could you explain? I was doing this and that. I was doing general stuff every day, what I always do. I don't think anyone could. I go close to Timmy's, but it's also my brother's. Timmy Naylor just happens to live on Finch Lane. Mr. McLaughlin asked why he got changed. Because I was soaked. It was torrential rain. It was pissing down. I went to my sister's and got changed. I went to collect some money first. I went back to my sister's, collected a bit of cannabis. I went to Nicky McHale's. Mr. McLaughlin asked if he would transport cannabis in his car. I wouldn't take large amounts of cannabis in my car. If I'm walking, if the police come, I can just run away from them. I don't mind driving around with money. I'm okay with small bits of cannabis, personal bits of cannabis. Big bits of cannabis you put in your trackie. I put my trackie on because it was torrential rain. I would have put my poly in my pocket. I'd only drop off kilos of pollen if it's local around my area. If it's a kilo of skunk, I'd walk around with it in a carrier bag or get someone to collect it. Cashman says his journey, nothing whatsoever to do with Joey Nee. Joey Nee's my friend. I don't have no reason to look for Joey Nee. Can you tell the jury this is the reason? I was not looking for Joey Nee that day. I was not thinking of Joey Nee at all that day. Justice Yip comments on the courtroom being warm and says it's a convenient moment to break for the day. Cashman will resume giving evidence at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Can't wait. Can't wait. All right, guys, let me know what you think about day 2 of Thomas Cashman's testimony. I'll see you very soon in the next video.